Ooh, welcome back to a brand new episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast live in studio for the first time. I'm your host, Pete, along with my co-host, Henry. What is up, my guy?
It is about time. Thank goodness.
That man's so excited, he almost cut me off.
Yeah.
No,
I decided it was my turn to talk.
I know, yeah. You couldn't wait, man. Couldn't wait.
No. I'm really excited. This is awesome.
I know it's not
We're sitting here tinkering with everything. It's
I mean, before we started, I mean, I kept talking about, I'm like, all right, it's time to start now. Like, I was just getting excited, whatever. No nerves, because I mean, it's like we're used to talking to each other now at this point. Usually it's remote, but this is what we've been like working in the off season. You know what I'm saying? Along with following the Phillies, as they weren't really doing much, but this kept us busy. So I'm glad to be here. I'm excited. Like this is not going to be every episode, but whenever we get the chance or opportunity to be in person, we're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? We'll still do remote ones. So I'm excited for that all season. But yeah, we're here. We got the backdrop, get the flag, as usual.
some
Slurs behind me.
Some little decorations we got going.
You got the bobbleheads from London.
Yeah.
Great memory there. I got the Funko Pop, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that out.
Is that what? Oh yeah, I wouldn't. That ball, the Turkey Hill ball, who's on that one?
I think that was, I see Ryan Howard, and I think the other one was Rollins.
Okay. I know there was a bunch of different ones. I still have all the balls in the tins, like at my mom's house.
Okay.
I still have all those collectibles and stuff that I can, bring out. That was like a big giveaway. I remember
it was
like back in the day. That and what other giveaways were big ones?
That was from 2013 or I think 2014. I'm pretty sure. But I'm not
2010.
No, I know, but it was going through the dates.
But
it was like an
all
anniversary gift thing or whatever, I guess. And at that point, that's all they had, those years to show for. But
they would never give out a ball now.
No,
because they'd be too worried about people. We can't even handle hot dogs. Pause. We can't even handle hot dogs correctly. Like they're throwing, dollar dogs around. You give them a baseball? Are you insane?
Yeah, well then they'll make it only for like 14 and under for the kids because they make everything.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
No, well, true, but I'm saying still though, like it's just like everything else is like 14 under, which
it's the worst. All the good giveaways are 14 and under.
Oh yeah, no, it's annoying, but I mean, there's a couple this year promotion wise that they're gonna be like doing like older people, whatever, whoever, it doesn't matter your age type thing. I'm hoping to maybe get the bucket hat this year because I wasn't able to get it last year.
Which one was that? The Miller Lite one?
Yes, and I was working that game actually, and I wasn't able to get one. I mean, I asked to see if they had any extras, and of course they didn't. So I was like, great, all right, that's awesome. So
they it's the good stuff. They never have like extras of. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
it's ridiculous. Like Gabby, since she works there, she can like sometimes they have like stuff for sale and stuff like that. But like, thank goodness she's been able to get me bobbleheads. But like, other than that, like there's some stuff like there was like London tour buses and stuff, and like people have connections and whatnot.
Yeah,
but like there's never like an extra NL East Champions pennant. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get to use it, but
there you go. Hopefully that sounds good.
We got some sound effects. So I was I should have used the applause when we first got into it, but it's all good. We'll keep it on check for the next time.
It's fine.
But enough of the yapping going on. We're excited about this, but let's talk some Phillies baseball. So since the last time we shot, they've had a couple games, a couple of rough ones. I'm not gonna lie with you. I know it's only spring training, and I know how people get when they lose or they're not doing well, whatever. And some people are trolling, some people are serious.
Of course.
I started to get worried.
About what?
Well, so first off, they played the Yankees on, I think it was Tuesday, and Wheeler looked absolutely atrocious. But I think he's trying new things. So that
I
might
think he's
play
trying
a lot
to get
into
comfortable.
It. But I mean, what did you see from the last couple of games that they played? At least earlier in the week.
I'm not worried because it's spring training. I'm really not. But when they blow leads constantly, that gets annoying. And I understand that most of these guys will not be on the roster, but at the same time, you got I mean, Nola had what six strikeouts
against Tampa Bay innings. Yeah,
his breaking ball was unbelievable. They blew the game, and that's it.
And
I didn't see how they blew the game because I got written up at work for being on my phone, but that's neither here nor there. I see notifications on my phone, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
They lose 6-5 or 5-4 or whatever it was. I'm like, it's a joke.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll happen during the regular season, but it's tough to watch those games sometimes.
It is.
But it only counts, spring training only counts when we're doing good. So
yeah, apparently. I mean, the thing for me is like, I just want to see improvement. And like I said, again, like I said in the last episode, like once we start getting closer to opening day, I'd like to see them ramp it up a little bit and try to get into a rhythm, because I don't want them going in the opening day game and like being cold. I mean, it's going to probably happen just because like everything gets ramped up when it gets to that time. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't stress about it too much. It does get annoying sometimes. And, I just didn't like to see that Wheeler was, not hitting his spots like he usually does.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've heard people saying like he was trying new things, whatever. Who knows what it'd be? But the Yankees sent out like a lineup where it's just like they were trying to prove something, which they need to, because the young guys need to prove stuff in spring training, and like we do that too.
Especially because they're going to get bit by they're getting bit by the injury bug right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for them.
The Yankees guys are like essentially auditioning.
Basically,
that's what it seems like to me. Like I mean, you got Jason Dominguez, which is a poor man's Juan Soto out in left field.
Basically,
just dropping everything.
Yeah.
Can't track a fly ball to save his life. He's terrible.
I forget which guy it was. Was it the Jones kid?
Which one? That did what?
On the Yankees.
Yeah, that did what?
But his swing kind of looks like Aaron Judge, but from the left side of the box.
Yeah. And he's huge. Not
to be the Yankees podcast, but
he's huge.
What? Huh? Oh, yeah, Spencer Jones. Okay, is that who you're talking about? Yeah, okay, Spencer Jones. There we go. Shout out to producer in the background who's a Yankees fan.
Whatever.
So Spencer Jones, that's who it was. His swing is very identical to Judge's, but just from the left-hand side of the box. And, I mean, hey, if they can find something with that kid, then so be it, and good luck. But anyway, not to make it a Yankees podcast, but yeah, I'm not worried about it. The one dude, Cody Stashak, I was telling you about, he's actually from this area.
Right.
Don't want him on the roster. I'm good. No offense. Probably a great guy, but just did not look great at all when he came in for Wheeler, at least.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I whatever, man.
These
guys aren't going to be.
It probably it killed his chance. I would say that, but who knows?
Who was? I'm trying to look up who caught Wheeler the other day when he blew up like that.
It was JT.
You sure?
Yeah, because JT was in the lineup. He had like 3 at bats, 2 strikeouts. Sounds like a normal day.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Well, because like sometimes him and Stubbs don't. Like whenever Stubbs catches him, and it's not like Stubbs' fault or anything.
No,
I think he just works with JT a little bit better
for sure.
But he has problems sometimes when JT's not behind the dish. So if he was behind there, then I don't really. He must have been just working on stuff or doing whatever, getting stuff together. Probably. I don't know, but
and I want to move into the game after that, the next day against the Tigers, because they had Luzardo on the mound.
Yeah,
and he got completely washed. Like he gave up.
3 home runs in like 3 pitches.
Back to back to back.
Rob Thompson was on the broadcast. Did you see that?
I was watching.
He was on the broadcast, so he's talking, and all of a sudden they hit the grand slam. It's like, okay, like that was annoying, but whatever. The next pitch, it's a home run, and Rob's just like, I got nothing. Then he does it again, and it's like, we need to get this man off the air.
Yeah.
Like this is.
So before talk about Luzardo, I would just say, go into that, like with the ESPN thing, I'm tired of it. And like just like there was a lot. Like I understand with spring training they have more time to talk to other players during like downtime, but even in regular season.
Oh, you don't like the in-game interviews?
No, I don't like the in-game interviews at all.
I don't. Depends. I don't like it when they're out in the field and Bryce Harper's playing first base and he's trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah,
and you're talking to him about like what his favorite like snack is. Like nobody cares.
Exactly.
Like I'm not. It's cool or whatever, but like Why like when Schwarber last year we were in the playoffs, he's talking while he's in the cage, telling them what he's working on. Like, dude, it's none of your business. Like, shut up.
And that's the thing. Some of the questions they asked
AJ Przinsky's over there. Just, I
know. And they asked Thompson some questions the other day, and it was like weird. Like, there were certain things that like they were asking. He's like, I'm not going to say, or I'm not going to. Right. It's just like, dude, like, what do you?
Like I understand the whole journalist thing. Yeah, I get it. But when they're looking at him and he's like, oh, well, do you tell Schwarber to not swing or to take a pitch or do whatever guy it is?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I'm not going to tell you what our strategy is with a guy and his counts. Like, stop. Like, I'm not going to tell you if I give a guy a green light on 3-0.
Yeah.
Like, why would I tell you that?
Yeah, it's
weird.
It's
just stupid.
It was a little awkward. And obviously, like I said, the home runs that Luzardo gave up, it was like weird. It's like, all right, like, of course,
Well, it's like every time when they ask Dave Dombrowski about contracts.
Yeah.
He's not going to answer.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like, all right, like we know this already, so let's stop with it. But yeah, Luzardo really struggled. I mean, honestly, he started off great again. I think it was the first. I think I missed the first inning, but then of course I got to the inning where he started like shitting the bed. But it just seemed like he couldn't locate the one pitch like with those three batters that he faced. I mean, it was just like they just it would look like it would come in like kind of like off the plate, and then they were kind of like it was locating like right corner down, and they were hitting it right there, and it was just like barreled. Like it was weird.
Every time.
It was weird to see, and honestly, like those are the type of things that we worry about with Luzardo, and everybody has talked about with him. So hopefully it gets fixed. But I mean, other than that, like I said, outside of those, like that little inning, I mean, like I said, he's been pretty decent. He just got to make sure he consistently locate his pitches, so stuff like that doesn't happen. Because that was a little rough. I felt bad. I can't lie. It was like, all right, like,
yeah,
it was rough.
Yeah, I just it's spring training. Like,
I know.
I try not to take this stuff too serious. Like we went down, it was like, all right, yeah, when you go, you want to win. You want to see your team win regardless. But it's like at least you get to see some of these new guys or the young guys, the 2028 Phillies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't watch the rest of that game, so it was like turned off.
I didn't even listen to it. I didn't even listen to it.
Yeah.
Thank God. And as soon as it said that oh my God. As soon as it said there was a grand slam, I was like, well, good thing I'm not listening.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, like I said, if you can fix it, great. No, I think you will. I trust it. Like I said, if you're gonna do it now and get it out of the way. I don't care.
Yep.
And then I move into the next game. They played the Pirates, or no, I'm sorry. They played the Rays on Thursday. We talked about Nola had like 6 strikeouts. He looked decent. They lost that game because it's whatever. They just couldn't score runs. That's what it is. But it was good to see that Nola was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I know Alvarado looked pretty good. He had 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit. He's been looking pretty decent so far this spring training. Romano and Kirkering got some showings in that game as well. Looked pretty decent. And then Friday they played Pittsburgh, and who pitched for them? Sanchez pitched for us, and
he's been
good.
Nasty.
He has. Just we talked about
this is his best spring he's had with us, and this is what 3 or 4 years now.
Oh yeah.
Like how many years has he been on the major league roster?
Like 2. All right.
Oh, yeah, probably
2, and then we extended them.
2. Yeah, I was gonna say 2 in the extension, and then no, I mean this is the best spring he's had so far.
Yeah, it was
like
great.
his movement. I mean, we talked about it in the last episode, but whoops, still getting used to this.
Yeah, you're good.
But his movement on his fastball, he's blowing it past you at 98, and you're preparing yourself to have that pass you by that fast, and then he throws you 88, and you're way ahead of it.
Yeah.
So he's just, I think he's picking his spots well. He's doing a good job so far. I think he's definitely worked with JT in the offseason.
Oh, for sure.
That's my personal opinion.
For sure.
But I think he's only going to go up from here. And I think he's still like plus 5,500 for Cy Young. So we'll see.
Hey, I'm cool with it.
Real quick, while we're talking about the starting pitching, there was I was listening earlier this week to WIP, and Thomson was on there, and we're gonna get into their interviews a little bit.
Yeah,
but they asked him what the deal is with Painter.
Okay,
and he's throwing in spring a little bit, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna have him on an innings limit in AAA, but the word they were using was July-ish.
Yeah.
Now, Rob Thompson said that if he does come up, if and when he does come up, it'll be a 6-man rotation. Who's going to the bullpen? Because it would have to be somebody, because you figure, again, like we talked about last time, you have Wheeler, Nola, Ranger, Sanchez, Walker, Luzardo. Then you have Painter. You have to cut one of those. You have to put one of those guys in the bullpen. I have a feeling it's going to be Ranger.
I was just going to say it's got to be Ranger.
I have a feeling it's going to be Ranger because he also has that, I mean, Rob Thompson talks about like his resting heart rate.
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievable,
Yeah.
So he can, he closed out the game that sent us to the World Series in 22. So, he just comes in there and it's like, okay, like this is, we're ready. Yeah. Huge pause. I know. No, I know.
Sorry.
He can come into a game and it's like, all right, like he's no moment's too big.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's the thing. I feel more comfortable with sending him to the bullpen more than anybody else. The fact that like Walker's still in the conversation. I know he's got a contract, I know, but
that's ultimately what it comes down to. And they should cut him, but of course now he's sitting 94, 95. It's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Listen, it's gonna be interesting to see, like, if when Painter does come up, and obviously they go to that rotation and see who they send to the bullpen. But like I said, obviously having Ranger there, that would help. After that Pirates game, they went on to play the Blue Jays. They got the W there. That was the game. Tyler Walker pitched, had 3 strikeouts, gave up 1 homer. I mean, who else? No surprise there. They had to win there. Then they played today, and they had Ranger on the mound. He pitched pretty well for what it seemed like. He had 2 strikeouts. He had 1 hit, 1 run. And the bullpen looked pretty decent as well. Alvarado, another good showing, 2 strikeouts. Christian Arroyo, another RBI. And just saying, his OPS is 1.84. So,
and this is in spring training?
Yes.
Okay, then.
But hey, there's a battle for the last bench spot going on right now. So I'm just saying.
But who do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be him?
I don't. I have a lot of confidence that he might.
Yeah, you have like.
I do.
Unwavering confidence.
I'm just saying, like, this is giving me like Eric Bruntlett vibes.
Okay, I was gonna say it's gonna give you like, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Shout out to Eric Bruntlett, unassisted triple play. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
that's a crazy shout out. But hey, I mean, big part of that. Big part of that team.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's going to be a battle. I know Cody Clemens went.
I think it's. I was going to say he went yard the other day.
Yeah, he's got some like chemistry there with the team, obviously, and he's showed out well last season too. So
and they can't send him back then. See, that's the problem.
Yeah,
because I don't know what they're going to do with Arroyo, but they can't. Like, if you have Cody Clemens start in AAA, that's fine, but don't call him up unless you can keep him up.
True.
So and Weston Wilson with the oblique injury, we don't know. It's gonna be tough.
It is.
It's gonna be tough. That last bench spot is gonna be a big talking point for the next week or two.
It is. Christian Arroyo makes the team. Do I get a jersey?
I swear.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that would be crazy though.
That'd be wild.
It would be wild.
And you have to get it customized because they're not selling that in the store.
No, not at all. Yeah, no, it'd be insane. I'd probably get like made fun of for that. But I'll tell you something right now. Edmundo Sosa has also looked very decent. Went these again today.
He's a lock to make the team no matter what.
Thinking about picking him up in fantasy for my team.
Well, you can do whatever you want.
Which we had the draft on Tuesday.
Yes.
Went very well. I got Bryce Harper in the first round.
Of course you did.
Yeah, well, I was
which by the way, it was kind of crazy glaze when you were like, I'll take my glorious king, Bryce Harper.
I mean,
that's bananas.
I need to make sure
that is bananas.
I need to make sure people knew. That's all I'm saying. How did you feel about the Ohtani pick?
I liked it.
The first overall pick.
Fine.
You're not worried about it or anything like that? Like,
nope.
You're just, okay.
Nope.
All right. Just making sure.
You guys seem more worried than me, which
I'm not worried.
Causes alarm.
I'm good. I would have passed up on him. So, that first overall pick.
That's crazy. But
I'm not. Whatever. So, moving on. So, you brought it up earlier. Rob Thompson and Dave Dombrowski were on WIP. I think it was on Thursday, and they both had interviews, and they were asking him a couple questions or whatever. Went pretty well, I guess. Heard some same thing I've heard before, and I've heard some different things as well. I guess we'll start off with the Rob Thompson interview. That was they did that like 7:30 in the morning. When I woke up, I was like, wow, okay, that was early.
Well, those guys are out there hitting at like 8 a.m.
Yeah, so I guess it makes sense. So just a couple of notes that I jotted down from the interview. They asked him about Bohm. He says his attitude is tremendous. He's talking in, the clubhouse and stuff like that. Obviously getting along with everybody. We figured that was going to happen. They brought him back. You talked about Painter. Possibly they're saying July-ish.
Yeah,
he had to add the ish on the end of that, to make sure like people knew like, okay, July.
Well, but like you said, like I was listening to it actually on the way over today.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't want to put an exact month on it because he said that the second that month passes and Painter's not up, everybody's going, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Oh my gosh, is he hurt? Is he hurt? Is he still injury prone? And everybody just starts talking and freaking out when they don't have to.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, and you can't give Philly people any more material than you already do.
No, you can't. You can't. And then another point he said, he says the team lost because so they asked him a question about the playoffs last year against the Mets.
Right.
And they were like talking about like, what kind of led to that. Like people were saying that like, they didn't know if they were like some players were injured and like that played a part in it. And he told him that the team didn't lose because they were injured. He didn't think they were injured at all, which I think was a little bit of a lie. I still think it was. I think obviously he's not going to come out and make it an excuse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I get why he would say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I was like, I don't know.
Which Hoffman, it was very clear that he was hurt because he failed 2 physicals.
Yes.
But like I think people try to look for reasons why you lose.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just lose because the other team was better.
Yeah, which they were.
That's what happened.
Yeah. I'd say it, but they were.
Right, so. Exactly. For the whole second half of the season, they were better. So.
Yeah. And then he brought up one point that kind of stood out to me was he talked about Brandon Marsh. And they were asking him, like, how can he get better and stuff like that. And he's said what we said before. He's just got to get reps. Like, he's got to get reps against the left-handed pitchers, like, no matter what. And he actually he said, he's like, I can see Brandon Marsh being like a great player, which I can too. But he's obviously I think he's better as a platoon player. Personally, I don't know. It's just like it's hard for an everyday player.
He's been getting a lot of at bats against lefties in the spring.
Yes.
And he's been doing good.
Yeah, he looked decent.
I know his batting average is what, like .071 or something.
Something like that. Yeah,
like it's very low.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean he's had some success in the spring against lefties, and the only way that you can get better is to face lefties.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that was my biggest problem last year when they were like, oh, we're not going to play him. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He sees the same lefties on the practice squad every day.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to do okay, but you're not putting him in a game, so what's it matter?
Exactly.
Rob was talking about the lineup on WIP the other day, and they kept asking him about the big question is who's going to lead off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Would you have Schwarber lead off, or would you have Turner lead off?
To be honest with you, it's like, obviously everybody says they want to see stuff different this year or whatnot. And like, I could agree with that. Like, I would be comfortable with whatever like decision they make. I would like to see Trey at leadoff if if he could be productive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, if you're going to be leadoff, that's fine. But like, then we need to get on base consistently.
So I can see why people would want Schwarber to lead off because of the numbers.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you look at our record with him leading off, it's a lot better than when he doesn't lead off.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but they the afternoon show asked Trey about leading off, and this is what he had to say. Just give me 1 second.
Yep.
We're testing new stuff here. So all right, here we go.
So the big story seemingly out of camp so far is you possibly going back to the leadoff spot and being this team's leadoff hitter. Is that something that excites you? And do you think it can take your game even to another level, getting back to that spot?
Yeah, I haven't done it in a long time. Last time I done it was 2019. Had a good year for me. I think I said this before, and we all say it, and we'll hit wherever Rob wants us to, wherever the coaching staff wants us to. We'll hit wherever because we want to win. We don't care. If that is leadoff, it's 2, 3. I hit 8. A couple years ago. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But yeah, we'll hit wherever, and that does excite me in the sense of maybe I can run a little more, score some more runs. The last couple of years I'm trying to drive the ball a little bit more, and not that I won't do that if I do lead off, but that getting on first with no one in front of me type deal to lead off a game, I think can put a lot of pressure on the other team. And maybe we can have some big innings early on. Maybe not bigger, but big innings early on, and kind of get downhill early on. So I'm excited if it happens. I'll be excited if I hit wherever, though. I'm just excited to be back, and love the game, love playing, and I think we've got a good squad.
we can cut that last part. It just scrolled by itself. But no, like I take away from that interview, like he was been wanting to lead off for a while.
Yeah,
I think, and it's just been like Kyle's been so good that you just can't push him out.
No, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like, the saying of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if Schwarber has been consistent for us at the leadoff, he's got good numbers there. We win a lot when he's at the top of the lineup. But at the same time, it's like when Turner got signed with to the Phillies, you would have thought that like he was going to be leadoff like automatically.
Yeah.
Just because of like, his pass or whatever, and getting on base, stealing base and stuff like that. But now like we haven't seen that much of that side of Trey Turner the last couple of years, like small spurts of it or whatever, but nothing too crazy. So, I mean, that's the thing. Like, as long as he can be consistent at that spot, it's fine. I mean, even if they try out for a little while and then, like, maybe go back to Schwarber. But the thing I like is that, obviously, the guys, they're just, they're just trying to be humble. They're saying, listen, whatever decision they make, we respect. We're going to do it. At the end of the day, that should just be, like, you should be unselfish no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it kind of, I don't know if you remember when Trey signed here, Schwarber called him and was like, where in the lineup do you want to hit? Like asking him like off the bat.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll hit wherever. Like I'm just open to doing whatever I can,
Yeah, exactly.
So I find it interesting that he's excited about leading off again.
For sure.
Because he said it last time he did it was 2019. They won the championship that year. The Nationals did. So
maybe it might, excuse me, it might make him a little bit more comfortable, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
I mean, like I said.
Well, and it changes his whole approach.
It does. And I talked about it before, it's just all about him getting out of his own head. Like, I think that's what it's all about, like, right now. Like, so at certain points where it's like, you seem like he's struggling or he's doing too much, it's just like in his own head, it's like, dude, just relax. Like, I mean, hopefully it doesn't put more pressure on him. I don't think it will because he's used to it. Like, he should be used to being at that spot of the lineup. But we'll see. I just, obviously, that's the biggest question, when it comes to the lineup side of things, whatever, going into the season. So
yeah, I have a feeling that opening day Trey Turner's gonna be leading off, and they asked Rob about it on the morning show, and he was like, they said if Turner leads off, Harper has to bat second, right? And he said, oh yeah, like without hesitation that when Turner leads off, Harper will be batting second
for sure. And I'll tell you something right now. I mean, it was a little like when they asked him like the first time around about like the whole like lineup thing, like he got like sassy about it a little bit. Like, it's just like, like it's just like it's funny because it's like, he obviously probably hears the noise about it all season and stuff like that, and he's trying to make the best decisions he can for the ball club. But yeah, so let's move over to Dombrowski's interview because he had one a couple hours later afterwards. And it was the usual Dombrowski interview. Not saying it's how it was, but like, what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear type of thing with him. Like, obviously he keeps saying we have a good ball club. Like I trust our players and stuff like that. Yeah. I get it, whatever it is, what it is and whatnot. But just a couple of points that stood out to me from the interview. So at one point he said, they're not shocked they didn't make a big move and they didn't want to make moves just to make moves.
Right.
So I get it, which is fine. And like, I know like all offseason we were kind of waiting for that like big trade that we're going to make or like who is like, the one player in the core that was going to be leaving the team, and we thought it was possibly going to happen after the playoff exit, but it didn't. And I respect the answer just because, like, I see what he's talking about. Like, you don't want to make a move just because you feel the pressure of, like, the fans or whatever, and you're just like, all right, I'm just going to go out and just trade away this player, trade away that, or whatever. So I get it in that aspect, but it's just like at the same time, it's just like, listen, like, that's fine and all, but, like, you're playing with fire.
Yeah.
You're running it back. You're doing what everybody pretty much expected you to do. And now here you are. So it's just something like interesting to me, at least when he says that type of stuff.
Yeah. And I think this interview like eased my conscience a little bit because last year it was like, oh, well, this is just baseball. It happens. That's why we lost. Yeah. No, he explained himself a little bit.
For sure.
In this last interview. So I'm glad he's not just doing things for the sake of doing them.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, we'll see. I'm not sure what I would consider a failure and what I would consider a success this season.
Yeah, it was funny because when you're talking about like just baseball, like he said to him, he's like, I didn't say that. I didn't say it was just baseball. That's what he said to him. Like, he's like, I didn't say it like that. And they're like, oh, no, I know. Like, we were saying. He's like, okay, no, I just want to make sure. Like, he was kind of getting that, like, not disrespectful, but like.
Defensive, yeah.
Yeah, he was like setting a tone on us. It's like, dude, like, I didn't say this. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Like, all right, dude, that's fine.
And another thing stood out to me, he was talking about like the playoff series with the Mets and stuff, talking about discipline. And he said the team's discipline was middle of the pack going back to the playoffs last year. And they were like, I think it was the guy who was hosting the interview. Was it Joe?
Joe DeCamara.
DeCamara. Okay, yes, that was him. Yeah. He said to him, he was like, I don't know about that. And it was just like, because he was talking about the stats. He was like, the stats don't show that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, Dombrowski was pretty sold on the fact that like, well, we had discipline, but it's like, well, did we?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like,
he's like, oh, well, we have one of the best chase rates. I could have fooled me.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So
like, honestly, like, that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like I kind of have to just give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like a lot of the interview too, as well, like reminded me a lot of like after season press conference where it was just like, you know, we just got beat and like this and that, and it kind of reminded me a little bit about it, but there were some new things that were said too. Yeah. And another thing was he still defended the trade deadline a little bit about Hayes, like talking about Hayes' injury and stuff like that, which I figured that was going to be brought back up, whatever. And this one really stood out to me. I really want to talk about this, but he talked about Trey Turner and how when they first signed him, that like they signed him to be the shortstop. Right. Like that's what they signed him for. But he also said like there's no promise that like going into the future that like he's gonna stay the shortstop.
Well, yeah, that comes from everybody asking about center field and everything.
Yeah. So that's the interesting part about it is like is that a dicey situation to get into with Turner? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like piss him off type shit. But like, you know.
I mean, but it gets to a point where it's like he has to understand that that's what's best for the team.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't think you sign a guy for 11 years or whatever it was if they don't have a mentality of, I'm going to do what's best for my team.
For sure, yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, you know, like I said, just dicey situation. You never know. Like, especially, like, with how Turner's been acting. And not saying he's been, like, acting out of character. But I'm just saying, like, you know, when you get into that, like, conversation, it gets dicey sometimes. And then the final thing that stood out to me when he said, like, you know, he's, like, he calls the team a good ball club. He's not going to call them great. Yeah. He doesn't want to label them great until they win a championship, which I respected the answer because that's how it should stand now.
That's the standard.
It's a good team right now.
Yeah.
But we got to wait and see if they could be a great team come playoff time. Yeah. So,
exactly.
You know, like I said, usual Dombrowski stuff, the way he talked, you know, maybe a little pondering. Yeah. I don't know. And speaking of pondering, I know they did some interviews with players. Trey Turner did one, Kyle Schwarber did one, and then Bryce Harper did one. Obviously, I listened to Trey Turner and Bryce Harper one. I didn't listen to Kyle Schwarber one. But Bryce Harper one obviously stood out because I was like, all right, obviously you know what he's gonna say, the usual Bryce stuff.
Yeah.
It was interesting to hear the story because they were talking about like when he signed because the anniversary I think was on February 28th. Yeah. And they were talking about it and saying like where they were when it happened and stuff and when it was announced when he was signed with the Phillies. And he said like the night before, he was sitting there and like looking at like his Phillies bag or whatever, and like, you know, he had his hat on and stuff like that. And like his agent called, was like, hey, like San Francisco's like coming in with a deal. I was like, nope. He's like, we're going to Philly. Like that was like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like, nope, don't want to hear nothing else. He's like, we're going to Philadelphia.
Do you believe that?
I do. Why?
No, I was just asking. I'm just asking. I'm not saying that he'd lie. I don't think he would.
No, but I can see what you're.
It's easy to say 6 years down the road.
No, it is for sure.
You know,
for sure.
I don't know.
It's definitely a Harper answer.
Yes.
Definitely.
The pandering is unbelievable.
An emotional one too. And then they brought up like his TikTok influence thing, which was funny and stuff like that. You know, Spike was asking random questions.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
God forbid he asked anything about baseball.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so before we move into our new segment, let me say hello to our friends at Philly Goat. As we look ahead to the 2025 season, make sure you're prepared with new Philly sports gear. Go to the website phillygoat.com to get new Philly sports merch and use the code BTBPOD for 10% off your next order. Beyond the Bank is proud to be an affiliate with Philly Goat. As always, go Phils.
Shout out to Philly Goat.
Shout out to Philly Goat. Wearing the shirt right now. I get the see like when we do like remote, like I was able to you can see the shirt a little bit on my camera, but like now you can really see it. So
right.
We got High Hopes one. So
yep.
Shout out to them.
I have a couple of them, man. I have a lot of Philly Goat. Philly Goat stuff, but so we're gonna move into tweet of the week.
Yeah, this new thing that we're gonna try.
Try it out. We'll see. What people think. We want your feedback. This could be a funny tweet that we saw. Something that's newsworthy, something like that. Anything really.
Yeah. Something like to joke around about, whatever.
You got one?
I do. So there's this. I'm part of like this community group on Twitter, so it's like called Phillies fans or whatever.
I think I'm in that too.
So this guy, I guess, should we say her name or no? Should we not like keep it like?
If we think it's gonna be stupid, probably not.
Oh well. Anyway, so this guy on there, one of the members, he tweeted out just randomly, was like, "This team will be lucky to touch 70 wins this year."
Oh yeah, see, they should be exposed.
No, like I mean, like stuff like that though is just like
70 wins. The A's got 69 wins last year.
But those are the type of fans that I can't stand. Like where it's just like I understand you want to be mad. Like I understand you you just want to be like you go to negativity right away. But like let's be realistic here. The team is still like we still have good players. Like we could be the White Sox. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I
say it all the time. It's just like it could be worse. You know what I mean? Like
well. It was worse for a long time.
No, it was. Yeah, but like, we got through that and now we're kind of like on the way to like, being competitive for years. But like it's just tweets like that stood out to me. I'm just like, all right. Like
so mine was from Phillies tailgate. It's not as much of like a funny or whatever. But Matt Strum is day to day with shoulder soreness according to Rod Thompson. Yes. Do you think this is just precautionary?
It could be, but then again it's probably something that maybe he was dealing with.
Yeah.
I know Strom's had a couple outings so far, and he's looked pretty good. Didn't seem like, but I think they said today he was like struggling with some command. So, hopefully it's nothing too serious.
I don't think it will be. I think it's a lot of just precaution and stuff.
Yeah. To be honest. So then I saw this one. So MLB Trade Rumors, their page, posted something like 5 days ago. It was like Nationals pursuing stadium naming rights deal, and the account explaining the Phillies, who they usually like put out some funny tweets, whatever. They said Citizens Bank South.
You remember when it used to be like when that was like a running thing? There was like so many Phillies fans down there.
Yeah,
that was when we were still winning the division and all. But like, dude,
because like the dynamic of the stadium's kind of close to what like Citizens Bank Park
is. Yeah. The design of it's almost the exact same.
Yeah,
like when you go from an aerial view, it's like two different. Mm-hmm. The scoreboard's on one side and one stadium, one side on the other, but it looks essentially the same.
Imagine it was Citizens Bank Park too. Like that'd be crazy. That would never happen. But
then they'd call themselves the bank, and then I would have a problem.
Then yes, most definitely would have a problem.
But I didn't really find any other ones this week. Nothing too crazy.
So Nick Castellanos' wife tweeted out after he hit a home run, and she was like, "First one in the books. Check on your loved ones."
I saw that. That was funny.
Phillies Baseball Talk was tweet of the year nominee. They said,
"Yes, it is. It has to be.
It's funny.
It has to be." Yeah, man.
And then, so real quick, somebody
said if these planes keep crashing, he's gonna have like a Barry Bonds year.
That's insane.
Yeah, wild stuff.
That's a wild thing. Yeah. Did you also see Foul Territory posted it? They did an interview with Jimmy Rollins. And his message they said he gave to Bryce Harper was, if you don't want to hear about the 08 team, go win it.
Yeah.
And basically explaining like, you guys got to be your own team. Like if you're going to go out and win one, you got to be your own team type of thing.
Right. And he said, he was like, I was really sick of hearing about 1980, but like he said he was sick of hearing about 1980 with Mike Schmidt and all those guys. He was like, I was sick of hearing about it and getting compared to them, but we never won. So he was, I couldn't really get that mad about it. And he was like, I hope when Bryce wins, if and when he wins, it'll be, all right, now you can tell the next team, if you don't want to be compared to the 2025 Phillies, go out and win it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
No,
you
exactly.
can tell Aiden Miller that. You can tell Justin Crawford that. Like, same thing.
And I appreciate the message. And obviously, come from Rollins. I mean, like, everybody loves him. And it's like, obviously, it's not something that's like, in a disrespectful way or whatever. And he's not trying to be like, you sometimes you have those like athletes that like they were kind of like the first ones to win a championship for the city, and then they don't want anybody else to win.
Yeah.
But like for him, it's like he wants to see these guys win again, obviously, and stuff like that. And speaking of Rollins, I seen the picture of him, Ryan Howard, and Charlie Manuel were hanging out in training.
That made me feel old.
They said just like the good old days, man.
Yeah, that made me feel old.
I started tearing up, man. Just like,
yeah, man. It's just
can't wait to see Charlie Manuel in the lunchroom this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You usually see him once in a while.
Yeah.
Still going, man.
Yeah, he was on WIP too. I got to listen to his interview.
Yeah. Still going. Yeah. Any more tweet a week from you?
I didn't see anything. I'm looking now, but I didn't really see much.
Yeah. Like I said, we also like point out some of these so-called fans that are in the Twitter comments too sometimes.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just, it's funny sometimes. It is.
It kills me, man. It absolutely kills me. Some of the stuff that people
Oh yeah. Well, it's not surprising either.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, no. We've been dealing with that for how long? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, moving on. So wanted to make the announcement here and now. So you'll be hearing this on Monday, but we will be posting the flyer for the special guest that we will be having on next Sunday, March 16th at 7:00 live. So the special guest that we'll be having on is Luke Arcani. Yes, sir. Very excited to have him on.
Phillies writer for Crossing Broad.
Yep.
Funny guy on Twitter.
Yep. Always
nice.
Keeping updated and stuff like that with the Phillies. So we're excited to have him on. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So that will be live next Sunday, March 16th at 7:00. We'll be posting the flyer on Instagram tomorrow, Monday. So we're really excited for that. I
can't wait. I can't wait.
And eventually down the road we'll have guests in person. This one's gonna be remote, so we won't be in the studio, unfortunately, but all good. So
it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. Any other last minute thoughts around the league stuff?
I got nothing. I just can't wait for opening day. I went to a wedding last night.
Okay.
Shout out my cousin Matt and new cousin Jackie.
Shout out to them. Congratulations.
They got married last night, and it was at Citizens Bank Park. I got to hit in the batting cage.
Nice.
I was on Hall of Fame Club and then Diamond Club. It was a lot of fun.
I'm jealous.
Fanatics' mom was there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous.
It was a lot of fun.
I'd be running the bases. Were they going to run the bases?
Yeah, right, dude. They would have tased me.
Wow, okay. Did they have it blocked off?
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, of course they did.
All right. I mean, hey.
It's in like pieces. The field's in like pieces.
I saw that. It's like some of the walls they taken down or whatever.
Every bit of the wall that's not an ad got taken down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then they're replacing the front fence of the bullpen.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Like a new design?
No. I think it's just like a new thing. Like it's at least down. I don't know if they're gonna do a new one or what, but it always fascinates me that it looks completely disheveled right now, but in 18 days it's gonna be fully ready for be played on and everything else.
For sure. I'll be at the stadium next Wednesday for my work meeting. So
nice.
I'll get to walk through there, Yeah. It's always emotional for me, man. No matter what time I go in there. Like
last time we saw a game there, it was game 1 of the Mets series.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Rough time. I almost said good times, but it was not good times.
Not great, man. Not great.
Sarcastically, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, and then real quick, I'll say it now. I know we talked about it before, and we'll probably bring it up again, but we plan on doing a possible live shoot on opening day in one of the lots. Still trying to figure out some things and details on that and get it planned out. But I mean, before we know it, because I was just thinking about it, I'm like, we got to start planning that because like home opener will be here before we know it.
Yeah.
So
right. Maybe we'll have some chips and snacks, sodas out there for people and whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try and get the Phillies first guys to stop by.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And shout out to them again. They gave us a shout out on their reel, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. That was neat.
Great idea of using our thumbnail.
Oh yeah, our first thumbnail.
Yeah,
we thought we were so cool just holding up the designs on our t-shirts.
Yeah. It's funny. Good times. You got anything else?
No, I think I'm good. Go Phils.
Right. Go Phils. Peace out. Live from the studio. BTB studio, baby. What other sound effects? Not that one. All right, we're out of here.